What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast, and we are going to continue on with our off-season series where we grade all 32 NFL teams on their additions, their losses, and the draft. And we have done Atlanta just recently. Today, you guys are going to hear us talk all about Sage's Baltimore Ravens. As always, we start with the coaching, and sorry, Sage, as much as you may want him fired, Harbaugh's not going anywhere, buddy. Ravens fans, please yell at him in the comments. Please get in the comments and tell Sage, our Ravens fan, not us. We all think he's insane. But please tell him that is absolutely asinine to be begging for the Ravens to fire John Harbaugh. Let him hear it, please. When it goes to free agency on the offensive side of the ball, they did extend Derrick Henry 2 years, $30 million. Love that. Might as well keep him till the wheels fall off. Who knows when that'll be? We've been saying, he can't do it again. No way. I've been saying that for 10 years, guys. Derrick Henry's inevitable, and he's just going to continue to run through people. It's what he does. But they did bring in DeAndre Hopkins on a 1-year, $5 million deal. He's just this year's veteran wide receiver that they're going to bring in. They have one every single year who doesn't do anything. I just don't see him making much of an impact at all. He's already listed as the number 3 receiver behind Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman, so that just doesn't move me at all. They did lose Patrick McCarry, really solid pass blocking guard last year, but he did commit the second most penalties of all guards in the NFL last year, which you obviously don't want to see. But really, really good in pass pro, and he doesn't miss time. He hasn't missed any games in the last 3 seasons, so he's super dependable at the guard position, and now you'll be going forward with probably Andrew Voorhees as second-year, 7th-round pick just this past season to play left guard for you and have to start. I will say, I loved Andrew Voorhees, but tearing his ACL at the Combine obviously hurt his stock, but then he did the bench press, man. Big fan of that kind of character, but can he ball? Can he play well? He fell the 7th round, so people must not have loved it. And if you're going into a year starting him when you didn't have to start him at all last year, a little bit concerning. So I do have to say I think the offense got just slightly worse only because of that one change. You can pretty much expect to see the exact same offense from Baltimore last year this upcoming season, minus just one offensive lineman. And I will say that Patrick McCarry leaving is why I've frequently mocked them in interior offensive linemen, and I got a lot of pushback on that. I just think that that's something you really have to fill, especially when you want to be such a time of possession dominant football team like the Ravens are. So either way, they didn't fill it. They're going to go forward with Andrew Voorhees and hope that he's the guy. But I don't expect much from DeAndre Hopkins. Honestly, neither should any of you guys. He's just on the back 9 of his career trying to get another ring. Failed with the Chiefs last year. He'll give it a go with the Ravens this year. So I will say just slightly worse, I suppose, for the Ravens offensively. Defensively, they brought in Chidobe Awuzie at corner after losing both Brandon Stevens and Tre'Davious White. They signed Awuzie to just a 1-year, $2.5 million contract. So as far as free agency goes, additions and losses, again, I just say it's slightly worse because I think Stevens and Trey White combined are a little better than Chidobe Awuzie, but I will say I think this was a forward-thinking move by the Ravens because they did draft TJ Tampa last year in the 2nd round, who had some first-round tape at times. He looked really, really good. So they're going young at corner. I get it. I don't hate that move, but just on paper, which is what we're talking here, I think that the defense is just that much worse on paper because they lost 2 corners that played pretty serious time for them. Now, Ravens fans will probably tell me losing Brandon Stevens is a net positive. I'm willing to hear you out on that one. Draft-wise, guys, the Ravens are just one of those teams. Them and the Eagles and the Chiefs this year and all the teams that are good every single year, it's because stuff like this happens where really good players just, for some reason, inexplicably, fall into their laps. I can't explain it. How is it that someone like Malachi Starks falls to the Ravens at pick 27? That's just obnoxious. I'm sorry. That's just dumb. It's just dumb. They made my recent favorite drafts video. That is up on the channel. Make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. Small spoiler alert there. This is just how good teams stay good, guys. It's just a science. Just get really lucky and have good players fall into your lap. What can go wrong there? It seems to work every single year. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't think either Malachi Starks or Mike Green should have been available for them at their 1st-round pick, and they got both of them. That is really annoying. I don't know about the off-the-field stuff with Mike Green, but I do know that the Baltimore Ravens have a serious need for a pass rusher that can actually get after the quarterback, And they got one in the second round who was a first-round talent who's coming off of a 17-sack season in college football. And they got him in the second round because of some off-the-field stuff, which clearly didn't impede his ability to play at Marshall this past season. And you know that all these teams vetted him. You know the Ravens vetted this and didn't just draft him and said, well, gosh, golly gee, we hope he didn't do it, right? They had to have looked into this and known, yeah, he's going to be good to go. So getting Starks to play next to Kyle Hamilton and getting Mike Green, a young edge rusher that you desperately needed, I mean, they absolutely hit a home run on their draft, as they do. As far as depth chart holes go, offensive line. I mean, you're trotting out Andrew Voorhees, who we haven't seen, so left guard is obviously a hole for them. And then I do have right tackle listed as a hole as well. I know they drafted Emory Jones, and maybe Emory Jones plays guard for them. He could. He's a big boy. He could play left guard for them. Is that much better than Andrew Voorhees? I doubt it, especially this upcoming season. But then you've got Roger Rosengarten at right tackle, second-round pick last year out of Washington. He had a rough season. Especially if you go by like PFF numbers and their grades. He was okay. His overall grade had him about 50th overall of all the tackles. The issue, though, for him is he's not a very good run blocker because he's light. He's 6'6", 300 pounds. He's not a heavy dude. So in a run-first offense like the Ravens have, I just feel like they have the wrong right tackle out there. Now, can he take a step this season? Absolutely he can. And he's a solid pass blocker. 50th in the NFL as tackles, as far as tackles go. As a pass blocker, not elite, but not bad by any means. It's just his run blocking was really poor, and that's kind of what the Ravens do. So those are kind of their holes that I look at. It's a scary thing when you don't know about your left guard and your right tackle can kind of be pushed around. That's a bit of an issue for me. So overall, this offseason for the Baltimore Ravens, I am going to give them a solid B. I do think they slightly downgraded in free agency, obviously, because they really didn't bring in a whole lot and lost a little bit. But free agency, they were non-factors in. And I would say that overall their draft more than makes up for that and gives them a really solid grade for this offseason. But that's not what the Ravens are here to do. What is the point of having, oh yeah, that was okay. That was all right. We didn't really change much. What are we doing then? What's the point? Why are you not going all for it? Are they better than the Chiefs and the Bills right now? Are they going to be better than the Bengals next year for sure? They didn't change anything, so you got to hope that, well, let's just run it back and see if it happens again. I don't love that. I don't like that for the Ravens, which is why I can't love giving them a B. Like, yeah, fine, it was solid. If you want to get over that hump and make the Super Bowl and beat the Chiefs and beat the Bills, you've got to go for it. You can't tell me our big addition in the offseason is 33-year-old DeAndre Hopkins and Chidobe Awuzie. You're just wasting your time here. What are we doing? You've got to go for it. And this is not what going for it looks like. It just isn't. And I don't know what they could have done. I'm not sitting here telling you I have all the answers. But what I'm telling you is that they didn't make any moves that if I were doing a power rankings of AFC teams where I'd be like, that's the one. They did it. They're better than the Bills now. They're as good as they're better than the Chiefs. What'd you do, Ravens fans? What did you guys do to give you that boost this year? Because clearly what you have been doing for the last two seasons hasn't been enough. So what was done this offseason to make you as fans say, this is our year. This is the year for us Baltimore Ravens, because I don't see any change. Malachi Starks is going to be a really good safety. He's a rookie, okay? And by the time he's in maybe an elite safety, who else have you lost that now you have that as a whole? You've got Lamar right now. He's under contract. He's an MVP caliber quarterback every single season. And you're just not building the roster around him to beat the Chiefs or to beat the Bills. And I don't see how they've done it this offseason. So correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. But yeah, a solid B for them. Not great, not spectacular. I was hoping for more. Good draft, though. Great draft, though. So that's all I've got for you guys on today's offseason grade video for the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see you guys in the next one.